Good morning, everybody, and welcome back for a little bit of more of my Japan grind towards my Type 90. This is a battle from all the way back on the 23rd of June, obviously with my STB-1 as my primary tank. Previous to my unlocking the APF SDS for it even, so way back. Now, the title of this video is just in reference to a previous video I did from sometime within the last couple months. That was 300% research boosters plus the Type 74 equals Finland, apparently, or something to that effect. But anyway, also because it just sounds like something Japan would have a crazy, weird obsession with Finland. And in fact, I'm trying to remember if they do. Maybe they don't. But anyway, that's kind of straying off on quite a tangent. So back to the actual battle. As somewhat per usual, I'm heading for the C point from this side of the map. I do tend to go for A sometimes, but depending on the enemies I'm facing and how fast they can get to C, sometimes I'll go over here for the C point because you can get there relatively quickly and there's a pretty good path that you can take where you can capture directly behind that little shed off to the right there inside the cap and be somewhat hidden, and that's just about exactly what I did here. You can come in on the back side of that little depression there, and you have yourself kind of downslope hidden from view, and pull up more or less hidden behind the little shed there. And I'm starting to get the first cap for the team while the enemy team moves in and starts taking B. Now, generally, I'm going to expect contact from the right here at the C point, but in this case, my friend in the Magach there took care of the Object 906 for me, and it was actually kind of quiet after that, which was very strange. Waited for my smoke to get reloaded. Assessed the situation quickly, checked for general enemies coming through the pass there from B. But in this case, things seemed like they were actually quiet, which I didn't exactly want to believe, but I thought, well, okay, if I can make a quick run through the pass myself up to the B point, I might just catch them from behind. I did take some kind of a hit that didn't do anything, so I elected to just continue on and get up to B as fast as I could. I marked where I suspected and, you know, assumed the most likely place for the enemy to be, right up there from where I know where you can sit from my experience on the other side of the map. And you can see a whole bunch of enemies getting marked. I've got a teammate coming with me through the pass here, and he went around the other side beautifully. And the enemy team is capturing the A point, so taking B here is kind of make or break on this fight. And what's this? Why, it's a tasty little target, and astonishingly somewhat, a single shot kill with APDS rounds through a T-62. I was perhaps more surprised than he was. Not the least of which because I survived. And then to do it again a second later, even better. Of course, I promptly got dispatched because you can't get too many shots off and kill too many enemies without being noticed, but hey, 2 quick kills and kind of thinning out the enemy numbers at B, not too bad. Came back in the Kika because apparently the Kika had been buffed somewhat and I hadn't really flown it very much ever since 1.79 came out. So it was time to go see what things were like.
Attention to the designated grid square. Closer to victory.
Not much going on at B, so came in to try and strafe and mark enemies down near A and roll back around and try and drop bombs on any enemy movement I could see or have marked for me.
Attention to the designated grid
And as I rolled back over and held, I noticed guys getting marked a couple different places here. And decided, well, the guy that's right down threatening our spawn is probably the best thing to put my bombs on. So that my newly respawned, probably second spawn guys can successfully make it out of our spawn and rejoin our team for reinforcements. And that bomb worked really well on that guy. After that, it was a matter of marking as many enemies as I possibly could until my very small supply of ammunition for the Kika ran out. And then go home and land, rearm, repeat the process as many times as I can. Now, I know I'm calling out that we need caps while I myself am in a jet, but the idea there was bring in some caps for the team, take out a couple enemies, which I did at least get one, and then return back and, if necessary, crash out, get back into a tank. And I fired my guns dry, marked as many enemies as I possibly could, and then it was time to go home, land, and get a new bomb and come back.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
And a textbook parking job. Now, as I get ready to take off again, notice how bad the ticket situation is getting for us there. Also, this is the first time I had flown the Kika after the 1.79 update had come out, and the boosters were a new thing to me, and I was pretty sure I did not have any boosters set. So since I didn't have any buttons set for the boosters and didn't realize that those were boosters underneath the Kika yet, I ran into a little problem after I got airborne and went to put up my gear, of course. Any of you who have flown the Kika since then will know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you can't put the gear up until those boosters have launched and then fallen away, because they're in the way of the gear. So unfortunately, since I did not have a booster button set, I had to go and set one real quick. So once I had ignited the boosters and broken my nose gear off, my main gear actually did retract, and then I was able to fly my airplane relatively normally. Besides the slight amount of damage that I had suffered from an enemy plane going head-on with me while I was fiddling around with my controls. And then to demonstrate the power of Flex Seal, I cut this Kika in half. And, well, we couldn't put it back together because we actually lost some of the parts of it, but other than that, it would have worked out great.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
So there you have the worst point of our ticket bleed right there. And you can see what a difference between our team's tickets and their team's tickets, and how bad things got and how grim things looked here. as I came back in my Type 87. And tried to make my way to something to capture or decapture to try and contribute to a ticket bleed in the positive for our team. Sometimes it doesn't matter if you have the aiming reticle or not. You can shoot right through the middle of it 50 times and you won't get a single hit on an enemy aircraft. And sometimes you hit them with a snapshot as soon as they go flying past you. And you get revenge on Yak 23s that cut your poor little Kika in half. And the ticket bleed is again creeping inexorably against us. So it's even worse now than it was before. But as you'll notice on the mini-map, things are getting a little bit better on the ground situation for our team. And we look like we're on the verge of turning this around here, especially with an STB taking out a T-54 there. Now, as long as I make it up into A without getting shot and destroyed here, and without getting stopped too badly by that stupid rock. There we go. There is the worst that the ticket bleed got for us, for real. It was bad before, it was worse here, it was really dangerous, and there we're also taking B. So now the ticket bleed is fully in our favor again. Had a near-miss bounce hit there from something. And as you can see, we're pretty outnumbered as well, actually. But the important thing is we have more tanks on the ground than they seem to have. And there's another airplane coming in. And I gave him a little bit of an encouragement to not come back this way. And of course he wouldn't listen, so I had to encourage him a bit more forcefully.
Another zone captured. We have the advantage.
So I almost kept driving out here, but I figured I'm just gonna die and that will leave nobody over here to basically lock up the A point to keep them from being able to drive in and contest it, or capture it or decap it. So hid behind these rocks here and just held tight, sat tight, and waited for the ticket bleed to roll down. So you can see here they've started taking the B point back, but we decided just let them have B. We don't have anybody there to contest it. We've got people to contest A and C and guard them and keep them gridlocked. So that's what we did. The tickets have actually gotten all the way down to equal, just roughly. So now suddenly we can afford to play a little bit more aggressively and take some chances and really make sure that we don't let them get in on the cap. Now the type, or Object 120 here that took a shot at me, made it in here and actually started capturing the A point, so I had to chase him down from behind. I thought he was hiding behind those rocks because he still saw where I was, but he decided at the last second he needed to get in and decap A and try and take it back for his team. And thankfully, he seems to have forgotten where I was, and I was able to roll up behind him. And right as the tickets are just about to bleed out, I managed to get a nice shot into his ammo and take out his crew. And then the tickets bled out shortly thereafter. And I got the final kill. Not too bad of a battle. 4 ground, 2 air kills, a couple of caps, and a victory at the last second. A very big comeback victory. The tickets were very much against us for a very long time and very deep into that battle, and we ended up pulling off the victory. Not too shabby on the vehicle research and Silver Lion gains either. Not bad at all, and when I had a decent enough score as I did, and I was 4th or 5th on the team, not bad either. Anyway, that'll do for today as we look at the kill feed. Got a lot better as the battle went on. And that'll do for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I look forward to bringing you some more War Thunder and probably Cold Waters again very soon. We'll see you next time. Have a great day as usual, and thanks for watching, everyone.